You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live. Stand Up, Sit Down, featuring in-depth discussion and interviews with stand-up comedians on the art of stand-up comedy. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live, Stand Up, Sit Down.
What's going on? It's your boy Asper J. Thomas right here with another session of Black Hollywood Live. Stand up and sit down. I'm back at you. Hope your Friday's going well. And I got with me today the beautiful, funny as hell, Yvonne Orji. Say what's up to the people, girl.
What's going on? How you guys doing?
What's good? I'm bringing that back.
Are you the turn up?
I'm gonna.
I think it's turn up.
It's just turn. That's what it adapt.
It's just
things adapt.
Because they was raising the roof. Now we turned it.
Now we just do
The
it.
turn up though, hands go down.
That
So,
do.
it's like the turn up, I don't know.
And Brother Sweaty original. They've been doing that for years. But we're gonna go ahead and get into the show today. All right, Miss Lady, go ahead and tell the people where you're from.
What's going on? My name is Yvonne Orji. I am originally from Nigeria.
Yep. We went there.
My people went to the Apparel. So yes, I am originally from Nigeria. I moved to America in 89, like 89, 90, and I lived in Maryland for some time. And after
Girl, I thought you was born in 92. I'm joking.
Stop playing. Yes, I am forever 21. I wish. No, so I moved to Maryland, lived in Maryland for some time. Went to boarding school in Pennsylvania, like Amish country, Pennsylvania. Lived in Liberia. I have a whole different life. I have a master's in public health, so I was working overseas for some time. Went to the Dominican Republic, Belize thing. When I came back, there was a recession going on. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go move to New York then. So I moved to New York, and then from New York over here to LA. So kind of bounced around a little bit.
That's what's up. What's up. So you got a lot of story and a lot of material to work with right there.
Yeah.
Definitely. So when you were in school, you went to GW.
G-Dub? Okay, Colonial.
Exactly. Say what's up to the people. Definitely.
How you doing? Yeah, it was the whiter version of Howard.
And I went to the black version.
The more expensive.
Very, very much so. And Howard was expensive. Shout out to my HU alum. What's going on?
I'm an honorary bison.
Yes, ma'am.
My mom works at the hospital.
Oh, really? I know a brother. No, I'm about to be quiet.
I could have gone for free,
You
and I
would've-
still didn't go.
I know a brother went in there and died from a sprained ankle. I'm joking. No.
No, he didn't. My mother wasn't working on him. Don't try and get our family in trouble.
No,
We got our passports. We're not trying to go. We don't want no problems with immigration still. But I'm just saying.
I'm talking joke. But Mr. Vine, tell us.
Oh, you so southern, Miss Yvonne.
I gotta say that.
I'm surprised you don't have a bow tie on. Talking about something, Miss Yvonne. I feel like I'm teaching my third graders.
I was gonna put the tie on, but they said, nah, you in Cali, you gotta bring it down a little
Hysterical.
bit. You know they're swag. Did you always know you were funny?
No,
No.
not at all. There's a lot of things I didn't always know. I didn't always know I was pretty. Or funny.
You're beautiful, girl. You're beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I be trying and stuff. MAC makeup, holler. No, I when I came to America, I had a thick African accent, so I got picked on a lot. And so, African booty scratcher, fat cat. I was called soup. My lips were like soup coolers. And so, I didn't really have a lot of friends. And so, I wasn't popular. So, now I look back at it, I know it was all training because I didn't have any friends. I would read a lot. I would read a lot of books, and then I would talk to myself a lot in the bathroom. Like I would make up stories. Like in my mind, I'm like, "How you doing?" Yeah, and it would be like 3 different characters. But I'm all in the bathroom, like, "Yes, you guys want to go out? Of course I want to go out. Oh my God!" And it's just talking to myself in the bathroom. My brothers are like, "We need to pee. Like, can you get out of the bathroom? Like, what's going on?" And so I didn't realize that was all preparation for, like memorizing lines and like creating like context and stand-up material and all that jazz. And it wasn't until 2006 that I entered this thing called the Miss Nigerian-Amercan pageant. And I didn't have a talent. I did not. I was like, I'm not playing the piano because I stopped those classes in like 3rd grade. And I'm not tribal dancing on stage because that's just ridiculous. I was like, I can't do it. I won't do it. No. And so I prayed I promise you, I prayed. I was like, hey, yo, God, though, I just bought this dress and I opened up a Macy's account for it.
Yep.
And so it's got to go back. But I would like to win. And so I was
got
like,
you too,
I mean, the dress was like that was the most I've ever spent on like a single outfit. It was like $300. I was like, the devil is a liar. What is this foolishness? I was like, I got to win. I need a talent. And this dress is going back. So real talk, in my prayer, I just heard Jesus say, do comedy. And I was like, no. I was like, I mean, you might have created the earth and everything, but you got this one wrong. Yeah. And so he was like, well, what else do you have? And I was like, I got nothing. And you got to understand, like, I was deathly afraid of rejection. I mean, when you've been picked on for like, 5 to 8 years, and you just getting friends and you just kind of coming into your own, the last thing you want to do is put yourself out there to be, to give people the opportunity to reject you, which comedians will, if you're trying to do comedy, they'll
put
reject
yourself
you.
out there.
And if you're performing in front of Africans are the rudest people in the world. You could be out there performing your heart out, like, does she think she's funny? Please, I'm tired of this gal. Anyway, so why you doing Samoto? You're like, I'm still
right there in your face.
I can hear you. Like, we don't know how to whisper either. So can you imagine, like, I'm on stage, you're not funny, you don't get. Anyway, what's this happening? So
who's up next?
I literally was like, Jesus, you got the wrong one. But because I had nothing else, literally, all I could remember was sneaking into my mom and dad's room when, cable boxes only still had like one main central box.
That was it.
In one room.
Yep.
And it was my parents' room and they used to lock the door. And some way, somehow, hey, surprise, mom and dad.
Everybody else was looking at 2 channels in the house. Like,
me and my brothers used to sneak in and watch Def Comedy Jam. And all I remember about comedy was that there was a setup and a punchline. I didn't know anything else. There was no books I read. I just know that you would start saying something and immediately after you say something else and people would laugh. So I was like, I just need to do that, whatever that is. And I wrote a 5-minute set just off the brick, like what was funny about growing up American, but Nigerian as well. And people laughed, dude. And at first I thought like, okay, God just threw me a bone so I could at least get further in this pageant. But then I did it again at the DC Improv. People laughed again. And then I remember getting my first check. I was like, what? Yeah. There's money
involved? People get paid for this?
I was like, skip medical school. I'm out here making people laugh for a living. And I really did skip medical school.
Hey, sometimes you got to follow your heart.
Yeah. I actually got my master's degree to stall because I was like, I don't think I want to go to med school, but I can't just not be in school. So I was like, I'm going to get my master's degree.
So you got your master's over GW. At GW, were you doing anything as far as comedy-wise or anything? Or
you got to understand, I grew up in a very traditional Nigerian household. So unless you're talking like, I want to be a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, like all that other stuff is not a topic of conversation. So I didn't even know that I had the gift of gab, or I didn't even know I had, or was even allowed to have anything creative in me. Like for me, it was like when I tell you I got my master's to stall because I was like I know books. I didn't grow up with friends, so there was no like purpose. I just had books, and so I was book smart, and so I loved learning. So there was no dibbling and I mean, in high school I might have. In fact, people that were in plays in high school, I was like, they're just wasting their time. What are they doing?
Oh, you weren't even in the arts at all.
I wasn't, because it was just like, it was cool, it was cute, but I was like, that ain't doing
your
that
thing.
for me. I was like, I'm African, we don't do this.
Yeah.
And so it was a complete shot, but it was in there It was in there all along. And when God has a purpose for you, it can lay dormant, but when it's time for it to come out, it comes out. Like there's nothing you can do about it.
And you have no control
at all.
You're right. Definitely. So when you got out of school and everything, what was your next move right out there?
Like I said, so after the master's, I worked in public health because I love public health. I actually my goal is to be rich enough to be a Goodwill ambassador. True to talk. Like, I mean, the industry is great, but I'm really about, like, I've seen a lot of things. Like, I go home to Nigeria all the time. I've lived in developing countries, and so I see.
Want to give back.
I see a lot of things. So I really want to be a Goodwill ambassador. And of course, to be a Goodwill ambassador, you have to have some kind of celebrity behind your name so that people can adopt what you're telling them to adopt. If it's clean water or using mosquito nets and whatnot. So I worked in the field for some time. I worked in D.C. and then, like I said, I lived in Liberia and Monrovia post-war. So,
This girl well-rounded. This girl been everywhere, girl. Get your passport ready, fellas.
Right? And now there's something from Ebola, so I hope all my people in Liberia, I hope y'all are doing good. Like
That's wild and random, too.
It's like 2014. You're like, Ebola?
Ebola? What?
It's so crazy. And I'm just like, what's crazy, I was there. Like, I'm like, I know Monroe, like, I know where it's at. So I'm like, oh, this is that foolishness.
Yeah.
So, so I worked there for some time. And like I said, my contract ran out, and I literally found myself back in America. And this was around 2009, and it was a recession going on because I was going.
I was broke. I was still broke. It's still a recession for me.
Hysterical. A recession in Africa is called Monday.
Yeah.
We woke up like this. Like,
Exactly.
We woke up like this.
What y'all talking about?
So I literally found myself back in Maryland, no job. But I looked around and I was like, oh, nobody else has a job.
Yeah.
So you got to understand, from 2006 till about 2009, I'd been dibbling and dabbling, doing comedy on the side. I was getting the degrees, working.
Kind of playing with it.
Kind of playing. It was like I was in the pool, like you dip your toe in, like, okay, so this is lukewarm, I can get in.
Yeah.
I remember I did a lot of corporate events, churches, businesses, parties, and was getting checks. So I was like, but I've always wanted to act. Like, acting was actually more my love than comedy was, but comedy just kept coming up, and it was actually the easiest way to get my face out there.
Yeah.
Because if you're a black chick in New York or LA, oh, I'm an actress, it's like you and 2,000 others.
50 million.
Yeah. But if you're like, oh, I'm a black chick, I'm a stand-up comic, it's like, oh, okay, that's different. Like, are you good? Oh, when can I see you? And so it's easier for people to be like, when can I see you? And you're like, oh, I got a show on Tuesday, as opposed to, I'm an actress. Where can I see your work?
And what have I seen you on? You like,
well,
remember that episode of In the Heat of the Night?
It's the web series that I haven't quite created yet, but I'm gonna shoot it by the end of the summer.
Exactly.
Stab yourself. You know what I mean? So,
being stand-up, you're being more proactive about your whole career.
More proactive. So, even though I really want to do acting, I moved to New York 2009. I was like, it's a recession. No one can be mad at me for not having a job because someone else has a job.
Yeah.
I'm moving to New York, see what's happening. I ended up staying in New York for 2.5 years. Did some acting, did some writing. I actually had my own stand-up show called Mama, I Made It. Mm-hmm. It was an open mic night right in Midtown Manhattan, and it was a clean show. It was like one of the only clean comedy shows, because I figure the reason it was called Mama, I Made It was I want us to make it. And like, if you're on TV, like mainstream TV, Fox, NBC, whatnot, you kind of have to be clean. Or,
you do.
Or if people see you, they can see you with vulgarity, but they want to know that you can, dial it down a little bit for a TV audience. And
that's what I wanted to ask you about. You're definitely a clean comic, and I mean, definitely to help you on the major stage, but when you're doing these rooms where, Tyrone in the back, like, yeah, what's going on? What you talking about? How does that still cross over, and how does the joke still land? Are you still killing it, or is it a different vibe?
It's so, like, I gave up cursing for Lent, like, when I was so Catholic.
All right.
So that was a long time ago. Like, I gave up cursing, I think, before I knew I was supposed to even be cursing, and it's about like 8th grade or something like that. And so it hasn't been part of my repertoire in so long, so it's not going to be part of my brand as far as a stand-up.
Gotcha.
And so for me, it's not even a thing. Like, and when people see my brand of comedy, it doesn't hit them like, oh, she didn't curse. It was just like, oh, she's funny. And so they'll laugh. So it still actually surprises me when I do see the older women or the older men that come like, I enjoyed you, baby, and I noticed you did not say a single curse.
Exactly.
It just be hurting my ears. And I noticed you did not. I like that about you. Now you keep doing that, okay, baby?
Yeah.
And so it's always like, oh, people notice. Like, because for me, I'm just like, yo, you give me the mic, I'm about to murder it. So it doesn't matter. Like, it's not part of my MO. So when I take stage, I'm gonna do what I do the best that I do.
Exactly, and that's a great thing, showing that you're talented, that you're taking the time to develop the joke. Because a lot of comedians just come in and they just, hey, I'm a curse right here, and I'm a funny at saying curse words. You know what I'm saying? And that's half their joke right there. You know what I'm saying? But
And what's funny, what I noticed, so Mama I Made It, like I said, was a clean mic. And what's so funny is that
you want your mama to see it, Mama.
You heard, Mama I Made
It.
We had a theme song and everything. Your baby girls on TV, now everyone can see me.
You hit notes. You hit some notes.
I did not know. I apologize to everybody listening. But I would see comics do clean at Mama I Made It, and I would see them also. infuse cursing at another spot. And it's so funny because they were actually better at My Mom Made It because they had to work hard at not cursing. So it was like
structure was hitting
the
it,
joke,
rhythm.
and it was like we're hitting the jokes. But when they were able to infuse curse words at another spot, it'd be like either if they forgot something or if they did something, it'd be like F or and it was just like they would the joke the curse word would get a laugh, but it was like dang, but the joke lost its thing.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, I'm not even opposed to comics cursing. Like I love a good curse word once in a while. You know what I mean? Like I love, like I think there are some people who are gifted at cursing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that is
Samuel Jackson.
They're gifted at put some curse words together. You're like, that is hysterical. I just can't do it, but I enjoy it. Like so I'm not opposed to comics who curse, but I'm like I love more than that. I love smart comics.
Yeah.
I love comics who bring me in because anybody can curse. Like that's
right.
that's not a like that's not.
It's not a gift.
Like if you can string it together real nicely, it's like, dang, I love how you said the F word right there. But that in and of itself is not why we came to see you perform. Like
Definitely.
we came to see you make us laugh. So so it's just a muscle that I have, and I'm like, yo, I'm primetime ready.
That's what's up.
No filter. So
That's what's up. Definitely. So you've done New York, you've done LA. Which one or the audience did you choose over the other? Or how was the vibe between New York and LA?
I mean, it's so great. Like I think as an African, New York is you hustle. Like New York, like I feel like I was walking around Lagos with a baby on my back. You know what I mean? Like like New York it's gritty, it's grimy. I love the city. I still tell people there's no place like New York in the summertime. In the summertime, I need to get out of LA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and New York is my destination. However, around
Break it back a little bit.
December. Around December a little bit.
What happens?
When that snow come down, I don't want to be nowhere close to the East Coast ever.
Yeah. This past winter was brutal.
Hysteric. I didn't know. I didn't feel it because I was here.
Exactly. Me too.
I was like, oh, y'all have 12,000 feet of snow. Oh, I'm at the beach, so I don't know about that live. I gotta go. Actually, there's a wave coming. Bye.
Exactly. Atlanta went crazy over there. They ain't know what to do. Brother was like, "What we do, Shawty?"
Hysterical.
No.
They were using seasoned salt.
Exactly.
On the roads, not even regular salt.
Lowry.
Give me some Lowry's. We gotta get rid of the snow. We don't know what to do.
ATL, I love y'all.
Hysterical. But I think the audience. I think in both places you can find some smart audiences.
Definitely.
And I think both places call for originality from comics. They both call for, it's not low-hanging fruit at either one because, you're looking at two very extremes. So they really want you to be funny. And I think that's black audiences and white audiences. I mean, obviously, black audiences sometimes they're amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because, it's like white audiences are like, we're rooting for you. We want you
to succeed.
And not to say that black audience is dumb, but
sometimes
they be like, make us laugh.
Yeah.
Our day was hard. We just paid $20 and a 2-drink minimum. You better be hysterical. Whereas white people are like, listen, we just came to support. All we want to do is support.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So you done that, and you came out to LA. You're making it happen, and you definitely are. You're out here writing.
We doing something.
You actually behind the scenes writing as well, and also you're a writer on the show Love That Girl.
Love That Girl, yes.
Yeah.
That was a blessing. I got a chance to work with Bentley Kyle Evans.
Bentley Kyle Evans. Let me just stop right there. Bentley Kyle Evans. If you don't know who that is,
Google
people,
him.
yes, the man who was a producer on Martin, and to me, that's threshold television show. It's just like
Jamie Foxx.
And creator Jamie Foxx. This man has been behind the scenes for years, and I just found out, coming out here, what he actually looked like, and he did that. You ever see the episode he did on Martin when he did when he went to the DMV? I want to be in front of him and do what it was like, chocolate, whatever, and that dude. Like, I didn't know that was the guy. The guy I've seen his name 50 million times, but how...
He's tall. He's the biggest dude you probably ever seen. And then for him to do that role, it's hysterical. We clowned him on set. There was definitely some clowning of Bentley on set for that. But yeah, I worked with his sister, Stacey Evans Morgan. I mean, it's really... I feel like the Bentley, the Evans family, they're like the next Wayans, because they have a production that's like everybody's involved. You got cousins, you got nephews, you got nieces. It's a whole family shebang. thing.
Everybody working.
But so how that came about, really, I had just done Things Fall Apart. It was a stage play that was produced. I was a teaching resident at the University of Richmond. And
From the
Virginia.
book. Things from.
Yeah, Things Fall Apart, the book by Chinua Achebe. So I was there as our artist, but also to teach the kids like Igbo culture and whatnot. So I was like, I'm just being myself. This is amazing. And so immediately after that, it was like my first taste of getting paid to be away for a long period of time to act and perform. I was like, this is what I need to do every day, all day.
You're doing the life.
And while I was there, somebody taught me, informed me about this guy named Michael Ajakwe. Michael Ajakwe, he's a producer out here. He also wrote on
Martin as well.
Yes, and he also writes on Unsung, produces and writes on Unsung. So great guy, Nigerian dude. So of course I was like, I don't know him. So I looked him up and I read his profile. I think I was on Facebook, and I was like, oh, I need to know this dude. I literally emailed him on Facebook Messenger. Like, I was like, Facebook Messengered him. And I was like, yo, hey, I read your profile. I think you're dope. I've always thought about coming out to LA. And actually what also prompted it was a friend of mine at the time was coming out to LA to meet with like casting directors. And I remember, you know that point where you're happy for somebody, but you're low-key a little jealous? You're
like,
oh
dang, you coming up, brother.
Yeah,
good for you. That's the most sarcastic, good for you.
Listen, I remember.
Must be nice.
I remember like, oh, that is awesome. That's great.
Crying inside.
And I remember literally being like, I want to go to LA, Jesus. And the Holy Spirit was like, what's stopping you? And I heard it so clear. And I was like, what you mean what's stopping you? He's like, it only takes a plane ticket to get to LA.
That's it.
And, you know, a lot of times, sometimes we stop ourselves. We make it so big. And it's like,
we make excuses.
You know, because, you know, a lot of people from the East Coast to West Coast, I knew people who lived in Brooklyn who were like, why do you go to Manhattan all the time? I was like, because that's where a lot of stuff is. They were like, nah, all you need is right here on Nostrand. I'm like, actually?
Yeah.
You know, so
I met people from Brooklyn say, I don't go over there. I don't
go over there. So I'm like, you know, we hinder ourselves so much with just the basics. And so essentially, Holy Spirit was like, just buy a plane ticket. So, and I made a lot of my money at this time by hosting different events, hosting weddings, hosting birthdays. So it kind of was like, oh, I can't host anything. So I literally took 6 weeks off my schedule. I was like, I'm not hosting anything for 6 weeks. Now, when that's your bread and butter, you're like, man,
wait a minute. You checking on Wells Fargo online, like, I've been there.
So I saved up enough money. I was like, people were like, hey, can you do this? I was like, I'm going to LA. They're like, well, what are you doing in LA? I don't know yet. So insert Michael Ajakwe. I was like, hey, dude, I want to come out there. And I sent him, I had just done a 1 hour special on the Africa channel called Africa Laughs. I sent him my stuff. He saw it. He liked it. He was like, you should be here. So I was like, actually, I'm coming. I got 6 weeks. If you know anyone who needs a shoe shiner, holler.
Yes.
And he was like, let me look into some stuff. It turned out that the dates I blocked out was when Love That Girl was coming back in production for their 3rd season.
Really?
Like, literally, I was landing Monday. They were starting that Monday.
That's a beautiful thing.
So I was like, Jesus on the main line. And Michael was like, I'm going to put you in touch with the co-executive producer, Stacey Evans Morgan, and reach out to you because we actually are looking for 3 interns. So I was like, they don't have to pay me. I'm already going out there. Just give me a spot in the room. And I never even heard of the writer's room. I didn't even know, again, when you grew up in my household, works. I didn't even know. I was like, oh, there are words on the page. Oh, got it. But it didn't occur to me like the writer's room was a thing. They don't teach you that in school. Like, unless you know you want to be a writer. But how do you know unless you know? So I was like, the writer's room, that sounds like dope, right? Because, you know, so Stacey called. Turns out Stacey was a ghost producer on another show I did like years earlier that didn't even get
picked up,
you know, put on TV. But she was like, I've seen you. You're funny. And I was like, yes.
That was me. That was me. You like,
like all the pieces of the puzzle were literally just coming together. Like, you can't write it. Like, you know, like stuff was happening behind the scenes that I didn't even know about. Yeah. And so Stacey was like, well, we'd love to have you. And I came in because they knew I had this comedy edge. I was like punching up jokes. I was hustling. I was like, no, you know, I think we should do this. And so I really held my own in the room. And so that turned into me getting my own script for this last season.
Definitely. And she definitely just had an episode that aired.
Yes.
On Love That Girl TV1. What was the
The episode was called Shady Predictions.
Shady Predictions.
And it's the one where I'm Unique gets a taste of a little bit of jungle fever, a little bit. She might want some vanilla ice latte in her coffee.
Speaking of jungle fever, you do a little joke where you've been dating. A little white in your coffee, you know what I'm saying?
They say you should write from where you write what you know.
Definitely. But you can talk about a little bit, how has dating been? Are you getting recognized if you come in, because you've done some acting things where you've been on television as well. And how does the dating scene and being in the business kind of affect you all the same?
I'm actually not a good dater. Like I don't like dating.
Okay.
I have this joke.
Me too.
I say I don't like dating, except for when I get real hungry.
It's a lot of girls got meals off of me. Girl tricked me at crustaceans the other night.
Not crustaceans.
Lord, went broke. I was financing cheese sticks.
I'm like,
up in there.
I don't think this is gonna work, but these appetizers though, oh my god, they're so amazing. So I really, because I'm not a dater just for dating's sake.
Yeah.
I date with purpose.
Yes.
And not to say like with marriage in mind, because it's not like every dude I see I'm like, I think I want to marry you, but like I don't. I have definitely specific standards for myself, for my life, and with my brand. And so for me, I know places that I'll go in a relationship and places that I won't. And everybody doesn't have those same stipulations. And so it's like, hey, dude, like I start off with being friends with most people that I interact with.
Definitely.
And I'm like, hey, listen, if you want to take this to the next level, this is what that next level looks like.
Let them know.
And it's cool if you're not down with it. No pressure, because I'm not that chick. I like where we are. We can stay here, and then we can grow as friends. And so far, it's it hasn't been an issue. I mean, and I think because I don't hide it, there are people who are like, no, I'm not willing to do all that. And I'm like, that's cool. Like, there's no pressure. It's amazing. And so, like, I have a lot of guy friends. I have been in a long-term relationship. It didn't work out, but we had similar likes, we had similar standards, but sometimes even with those things, it still doesn't work out.
Exactly.
But at least I knew going into it, like, oh, page 1, page 2, page 3, we were all on the same page.
Definitely.
So yeah, and
also a great thing you've done, you talk about being upfront with it. You've also created a clothing line that's kind of based around this as well.
Yes,
Go ahead and talk about that a little bit for us, lady.
So, I mean, it's no secret. If you Google Yvonne Orji, or if you meet me, or if you're following me on Instagram, you'll know I love Jesus with all my heart.
Yep, and we're going to bring it up on the screen right now so you ladies know. It'll come up in a second. Go ahead.
Okay. I have a clothing company called Rock Your Stance, and we pretty much have T-shirts that promote biblical we promote positive things through biblical sayings. One of which is keeping it locked till I get that rock. It's no secret. I am waiting till I get married. And we have another one like, don't you wish your girlfriend was saved like me?
What?
Right? And the
Jesus.
turn up for Jesus. And the concept really is, be fly. Like if you like whatever you rep to the fullest, because you got people repping these hoes ain't loyal, and they repping that to the fullest, and they're making bread off that. And I'm not clowning them in any way. Like, do you, boo boo? But at the same time, like, we have people who rep Jesus, who, in my opinion, is the dopest dude ever, and they be like real docile with it. Like,
I like Jesus real quick.
No, I rep him like on Sunday. Though.
Is it Sunday yet?
And I'm just like, nah, because I'm fly. Like, you meet me Tuesday through the next Tuesday, I'm all day, every day, I'm 100. But it's like, I'm not going to stifle you from being who you are. Like, I don't drink, but that don't mean that, like, my friends don't drink.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's not wrong.
I have friends who do. I don't curse, but that doesn't mean all my friends don't curse. I have a group that keeps me grounded and accountable to certain things. And I have other groups of friends that, they do them. And I'm like, as long as you're a cool individual and a good person, we can find common ground in that. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I like meeting people. So I understand that everybody's not going to be like me, but hey, we're in this melting pot of LA, and as long as you're cool, we can all be cool.
Definitely. Before we get out of here, we definitely got to bring up your clothing line, so we put up the website so everybody could check it out and everybody will know.
Yes, www.rockyourstance.com.
Rockyourstance.com. That'll come up on the screen in just a second. And also, you have a book.
I have a book. I'm writing a book. Yes,
I've been stalking a little bit.
You've been stalking me a little bit. The book is called "The Wait Is Sexy." Essentially, you know, there are a lot of people who are waiting for different reasons. You know, it's like, and that doesn't mean like, you know, they're a virgin, or it just means like at this point in their life they're abstinent for whatever reason. But they're not really happy about it. They're like, you know, it's not all the time easy, but they're just like, I don't like this. And so I decided to write the book called The Way to Sexy, because I'm like, even in the hardest, because I say in the book, I'm like, you know, there's a lot of things that were hard, like 3rd grade, but you got through it. You know,
you made it.
So,
it was tough though, because like them colors, I was like,
not the colors.
I was at the colors, baby.
The fractions got me. I was like, carry the 1, -2, remainder 4.
I still don't mess with it.
So the way to sexy is just talking about how, like, hey, even in the weight, you can still be fly, you can still be sexy, you can still be attractive, and attracted to people. And so it's all about how you carry yourself, and you know, your why in waiting, and that's what's really actually going to be able to sustain you. So,
definitely.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, is anything else you want to address to let the people know where they'll see you next or anything?
The next show coming up is at Spoken Funk in NoHo at at the Ha Ha Comedy Cafe on Lancashire on the 31st.
Well, poetry.
Yeah, Spoken Funk with poetry.
Poetry, yes. Yeah. Great guy, great guy.
And it's a holiday weekend, so come through. So yeah, that's Sunday night. I think I'm on the 10 o'clock show.
Definitely.
So that's the next thing. Oh, I'm going to be at Ankara Fest, September 6th. I'm hosting Ankara Festival downtown.
This woman is on her grind. You better get it.
I mean, we out here trying to make this rent. Rent is real. Turn down for what?
Definitely.
But yeah, so I mean, and things come up. So follow me on Instagram at Yvonne Orji. That's Orji. Get your mind out the gutter.
Get it right.
And that's the same thing for Twitter and Facebook. So.
Definitely. You know where you can find me at Ashford JT, and also at Howtonu, HOWTONU, on Instagram and on Twitter. Definitely follow us, show you how you can support the fellowship, and make sure you tune into this lady right here. She's off the chain. Coming up, remember this face, Miss Yvonne Orji. Come on now.
Miss
You better.
Orji, if you nasty. No,
What time is it? It's 2 o'clock. No, I'm joking. But check us out next time on Black Hollywood Live. Stand up and sit down. I'm your host, Ashford J. Thomas. Make sure you follow me wherever on the web, all right? And I'll holler. Peace.
Deuces.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.
Thanks for watching Black Hollywood Live on YouTube. For more in-depth interviews and news, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion in the comment section below here. See you soon, everyone. Bye.